So today's walk and talk has come from one of my students, where they're being bullied at school. So this is the advice I tend to give the parents and the students that are being bullied. So the first thing you need to do is look at the school policy and essentially follow the school policy. And I will be honest with you, I wouldn't expect to get anywhere with this. And the school policy will usually say, go and see the teachers, tell the teachers what's happening, teachers will log it down, blah, 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 whatever it is. I'll be honest with you, I've almost never seen this work. Because what will happen is that you go and tell the teachers will do nothing in the first instance, or very little in the first instance, and in the second instance what they'll do is they'll separate the child from the bullies. So they turn around to the child and say, well, stay indoors during sessions, stay near the head, be near the teachers, etc, etc. Why is the child being punished for what the bully's actions are? Why is it not the bullies being pulled to one side and said, you'll have to spend time indoors, you'll have to spend time near the teachers, etc. So, as I say, follow the policy, and I will promise you you'll get nowhere with that. Okay, I'd be very surprised if it gets anywhere. I used to be a governor for a school, and we were doing a session, committee session, and the heads were looking at the policy for bullying, and the headmistress says, we don't have any bullying at the school. To which my reply was, and I teach martial arts, was, well, I teach martial arts in the local class, in the local club just around the hall, just around the corner. My class is half full of children who are being bullied from this school. So there's kind of like a denial that it happens in school. But we need to kind of stamp it out and sort this stuff out. And I know kids are kind of nasty sometimes, but it shouldn't be allowed. So the next thing I do is usually I get the child to record what's happening. And what I try and do is make sure that the parent is aware of what's going on. Because the parent needs to have followed the policy in the first place and written to the school and gone to see the school. But the next thing we're going to do is probably going to get the child into trouble. So I will usually give the child a dictaphone. Dictaphones are great, they have really good, they're made to pick up voices from long distances. So I buy a dictaphone, I give them a dictaphone, I say, when you finish your class, switch your dictaphone on, record what's happening. And then if something happens, great, you've got evidence of it, and if something doesn't happen, you just delete the recording. And I'll try and get 2, 3, 4 examples of the bullying happening. So you've got a decent series of them. You've got some evidence to back up that, XYZ child is bullying you. And then I would take it to the head now, or the teachers. The thing to understand here is you're going to get told off for recording in the school. And rightly so, you shouldn't be recording in school. However, what we're saying here is you've been ignored and you need to gather some evidence, and now there's indisputable evidence that the bullying is happening. It's happening to you on a regular basis. As I say, you're going to get told off, so I think it's important for your parents to know about it, because your parents are going to be saying, yes, we've told them to do this, and the reason we've told them to do this is because of the bullying that's going on, this lack of support from the school. So I'd be honest, I'm doubtful that this would fix the problem. Hopefully it does, but I doubt that it would. So the next thing we're going to do is, once we've followed the policy, we've spoken to the teachers, we've got evidence, the next thing we're going to do is to write to the Chair of Governors. So the anti-bullying policy will be owned by the Chair of Governors. And when we write to the Chair of Governors, what we will also do, so what we'll do is basically making the Chair of Governors aware that bullying is going on in the school, because the head won't tell them. I've already told you that. So now the governor is aware of the bullying, and the more people that do this, the more aware they'll be. We're going to copy in Ofsted, and the reason we're going to copy in Ofsted is because we want Ofsted to put pressure on the school. So you've got evidence of it that you can give to Ofsted, and you want Ofsted to put pressure on the school to look into it. You're going to copy your local MP in, because we want them to know that these things are going on. and that's what they're there for, to sort problems out. We're also going to copy in the head, and the reason we're copying the head in is because we want the head to know that we've escalated it beyond their policy. So hopefully what this does is it puts pressures on the teachers to fix the problem, because now the head's interested, your chair of governor's interested, potentially Ofsted are interested, and all these things are putting pressure down onto the teachers in the school to get the job done and fixed. Now, hopefully, this will sort the problem out. But if it doesn't sort the problem out, we then need to talk to the police. And I'll be honest with you, the police in these cases, the police are pretty useless. They don't want to know. So you go to the police and you say to them, this is happening. These people are bullying me at school. They're bullying you outside of school. And can we report it as a crime? Because essentially it's assault. We call it bullying, but it's assault, isn't it, by a child? If I hit someone and I call someone racist names or whatever, I'm probably going to get a visit from the police. I may end up with a criminal record. Yeah. So why is this not the case with children? I ask you. Now, how is it different? Okay, maybe we don't want them to have a criminal record, but we want them to understand how serious it is what they're doing. And when I was a kid, we would tell the police officer, and the police officer would come along and tell you what's going on, and then they'd probably take you to the police station, show you what the cells look like. But there's no fear, because the police don't care, because the police's view is it's a problem for the school. So you've gone to the school, they've done nothing. You've gone to the police, realistically they're going to do nothing. So under the law, you have the right to defend yourself in the UK. We also have the right to sort of striking first. We don't have to wait for someone to hit us, we can hit them first. So the next thing I would do is take my child to a martial arts class, get them to learn how to kick, and then my next thing I would do is teach them to aim for the knee. So it's either using your knee, kicking into the knee, whatever it is, and you need to kick at an oblique angle across the knee. And then you tell the school, this is what we're done. Right? Your child is so from a self-defense point of view, you have the right to defend yourself, you have the right to first strike. You also don't need to wait for someone to attack you. The words that you need to understand are, I feared for my safety, I acted in self-defense. So if those bullies come near you, you just kick out their knees. That's going to be 6 to 9 months, not walking very easily. And personally, that's what I would teach my children. It's not right. We shouldn't have to get to that stage. With this other kid, I phoned up the head and I said they need to sort this out. They need to take their responsibilities seriously. And I've so far spent about 2 hours with the child in different positions on how to take out someone's knee from different areas. And we've said to the school, if you don't sort this out, he will defend himself, because he has a right to defend himself. And this is what he's going to do. And his parents know that this is what he's going to do. I mean, how on earth we can let the world get to this stage, I've got no idea. All right? But school teachers, headmistresses, headmasters, take your responsibility seriously. Sort out the problem. Yeah? Children should not be bullied at school. It should be a place of safety for them. It's no wonder we've got so many children with anxiety problems. Okay? So that's just my guide. Up to you whether you'd follow it or not. But certainly, if you're not getting help, then maybe you should. Maybe you do need to learn some self-defense. Maybe it will sort it out, or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll escalate it. And you just need to be aware that I can't be there. I don't know what your situation is. So you have to kind of think very carefully about each stage of that process, because some of it might not be right for you and your child. Anyway, that's my thoughts on bullying. It's the advice I gave one of my kids. It seems to be working quite well. There probably are other options I've covered. But there you go.